Hey y'all, had a question come up recently on the channel, but I get this question all the time, or it's a comment usually, and it goes something like this. Man, I can play some bluegrass banjo, and I've been playing a long time, but I never could figure out that old time frailing, and I can't play any clawhammer. Man, I just don't even know where to begin. Well, this lesson here will be how to start frailing or how to start clawhammer for the bluegrass banjo player. Now, truthfully, we all start at the same place, but the primary thing is, and a lot of bluegrass guys come in and say, man, if I started learning that, I guess I'm going to have to go out and buy another banjo. And well, you don't. You can just use your resonator banjo to get started on. I use mine all the time, play some old time, and it works just fine. And it'll do you until you decide exactly what you want. So I'm gonna slow some stuff down, show you how to get started. It's very basic. Even if you're just brand new to clawhammer and don't care a thing in the world about bluegrass, this will help you get started. And so I'm gonna adjust the camera here and show you what I do. All right, we're adjusted here, and you can see I kind of turned to the side. I want you to see what's going on here. Now, when I hold my hand for clawhammer, I'm holding it kind of like that. Just I make kind of like a claw, and that's the shape I use. Now, I use my middle finger. You can use your index finger, and everything in clawhammer that I'm going to show you, or frailing, or whatever you want to call it, some of the old timers called it knocking. Some of them called it rapping. I guess I was rapping before rapping was cool. But anyway, everything is a strike down. So what I'd like you to try, just before you get started doing much anything, you get your hand in a position to where your middle finger kind of can hit that first string, and when it does, your thumb can touch the fifth string. Now notice, I don't have my thumb flat, I got it bent. And you don't have to bend it, but if you bend it, coming from a bluegrass background, you will be less apt to want to pick with your thumb. We're not going to be picking with our thumb. Our thumb's going to just kind of stay still, and the very motion of our hand is what's going to make the strings work. So there's not a lot of picking. There's no flicking with our fingers. There's no picking with our thumb. It's all this motion. Now, what I'm doing is going to be real exaggerated, but I want you to see what's going on. And then once you smooth it out and practice it a little bit, the exaggeration won't be as noticeable. But that's okay. Let's exaggerate it to begin with. So what I want you to do is you're going to strike down on that first string. Notice I didn't go down this way. I went right into the head of the banjo. It's like that way. It's like if I don't hit it, I'm just knocking on the banjo. Knocking, rapping on the door. So you're just going to hit the first string. And when you do, look where my thumb landed. It landed right on that fifth string. And when I pick my hand back up, it rings. So there's your first little practice thing. You're going down and up. So down, up. So toward the banjo, away from the banjo. You're going, it's almost perpendicular to the strings. You're not going parallel. You're not going this way. That's wrong. You're going toward the strings. So that's what I want you to work on. Just that. Notice that I'm not picking with my thumb. Notice I'm not flicking with my fingers. It's the motion, and the motion is right there. It's a rock. You're rocking. Later you'll add some, articulation to it all, but for the time being, it's just real. Now, you can do that on any string. So hit the third string, second string, first string. So that's your first motion. Second motion, and this is one I know y'all have heard. It's a bum-ditty. If we do what I just showed you, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so those are ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The thumbs are ands. 1 and 2 and. All right. So if you want to do a bum-ditty, we do 1 and 2 and. We skip one of the ands. 1 and 2 and. We just don't let that fifth string sound. So there's your bum-ditty. So you got, and you've got. Now, let's try that on another string. So hit your third, or you can hit your first. Now, I've added a brush. So that brush obviously has to go across the strings in a more of a parallel motion, but I'm only hitting the first two strings. One, and when I do that little brush, it's just two strings. So that gives you your two motions. You can do it with a brush. So those are the things you're going to start working on first. Your left hand, if you're coming from bluegrass, you know your left hand. So, but what I want you to do is just work on that right hand motion, and then our next video in this sequence, we'll take a bluegrass tune you know, and you can learn to play Cripple Creek using that technique. Now, if you were to practice that technique and just get really comfortable at it and do it on different strings, you could probably play Cripple Creek. So readjust my camera and I'll be right back. So there's your first little lesson on Clawhammer banjo. It's not hard. You can do this. And if you're just coming new to Clawhammer, Frailing old time, use whatever banjo you have handy. Later you can decide if you want a fancier open back banjo, or you might want to just continue to play a resonator banjo. That's cool too. So practice, practice, practice. Be sure to tell your friends and neighbors about this video. Have them subscribe like you're going to do right there. There's going to be a little button where you can subscribe, and down here there'll be another video you can watch. So check them out. We'll see you next time. Peace.